The Haqqani Network, the deadliest, most mysterious, and most unstoppable terrorist group in Afghanistan. They've carried out hundreds of suicide attacks, killed thousands, bombed embassies, and worked hand in hand with al-Qaeda. You might not believe this, but today, they hold key positions inside the Taliban government. The CIA calls them more dangerous than al-Qaeda. Pakistan secretly supports them, and no one, not the USA, not NATO, not even the Afghan state has ever managed to destroy them. So, what exactly is the Haqqani Network? Where did it come from? And why is it so powerful? Let's uncover the dark empire that no one dares to touch. It all started with one man, Jalaluddin Haqqani, born in 1939 inches, Paktia province. From the Zadran Pashtun tribe, Jalaluddin began as a religious scholar, but soon he transformed into one of Afghanistan's most feared warlords. During the 1980 seconds, as the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, Haqqani rose as one of the top Mujahideen commanders. But unlike others, he wasn't just a fighter, he was a strategist. He mastered guerrilla warfare, built an extensive intelligence network, and established international connections. Here's the shocking part. In the 1980 seconds, Jalaluddin Haqqani was actually a hero to the United States. The CIA directly funded him. President Ronald Reagan even invited Afghan Mujahideen, including Haqqani, to the White House, calling them freedom fighters. Both the CIA and Pakistan's ISI poured millions of dollars into his cause, weapons, training, and logistics. But after the Soviets withdrew in 1989, everything changed. Afghanistan fell into civil war. Instead of joining the government, Haqqani built his own power base, an independent network, loyal to no one. In the 1990 seconds, when the Taliban rose to power, Haqqani joined them and became Minister of Borders. Yet, even inside the Taliban, he kept his private army and his own chain of command. He had direct ties with Osama bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri, and a deep alliance with Pakistan's ISI. These three, Taliban, al-Qaeda, and ISI, became the foundation of what's now called the Haqqani Network. Jalaluddin died in 2018, but his empire didn't collapse. It evolved and became even stronger. After Jalaluddin's death, his son Sirajuddin Haqqani took over, and if the father was dangerous, the son is terrifying. Born in the early 1970 seconds, Sirajuddin grew up mostly in Pakistan. He studied in religious schools run by the ISI, which trained him not only in ideology, but also in intelligence and warfare. He's not just a militant, he's a professional spy and a master tactician. From the early 2000s, Sirajuddin planned and executed some of Afghanistan's most horrific attacks. 2008, Serena Hotel bombing in Kabul, 6 dead. 2008, Indian embassy bombing, 58 dead. 2009, CIA Camp Chapman attack, 7 CIA officers killed. The deadliest day in CIA's modern history. 2011, 20-hour siege of the U.S. Embassy in Kabul. 2017, military hospital attack, over 100 killed. The U.S. placed a $10 million bounty on his head, the same as bin Laden's. But Siraj wasn't just killing, he was building an empire. The Haqqani Network became a terrorist mafia, generating over $100 million annually through drug trafficking, kidnapping for ransom, extortion, smuggling weapons, and even trading precious stones. Kidnapping was their signature move. Journalists, aid workers, soldiers all became commodities in the Haqqani economy. And the network didn't work alone. It coordinated with al-Qaeda, Uzbek, Chechen, and Arab jihadists. By the 2010 seconds, the Haqqani Network was no longer just a group, it was a global franchise of terror. Now, let's talk about the secret behind Haqqani's power. Pakistan. The ISI, Pakistan's powerful intelligence agency, has supported the Haqqani Network for decades. Why? Because for Pakistan, the Haqqanis are a tool, a weapon to control Afghanistan and counter India's influence. In 2011, Admiral Mike Mullen, chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, said publicly, "The Haqqani Network acts as a veritable arm of Pakistan's ISI." That statement shook the world, but Pakistan denied it as always. Yet evidence piled up. Haqqani leaders lived freely in Pakistan in Quetta, Peshawar, and Miranshah. They trained, regrouped, and launched attacks across the border under the ISI's silent protection. When Washington demanded Pakistan crack down on them, Islamabad stalled, pretending to cooperate but never acting. Why? Because Pakistan knew that once America left, the Haqqanis would dominate Afghanistan, and Islamabad wanted that influence. The 2011 attack on the U.S. Embassy in Kabul was traced by American intelligence to calls between Haqqani fighters and ISI officers. It proved that Pakistan's hand was deep in the blood. But despite this, Pakistan was never punished because the U.S. needed Pakistan's supply routes during the war. It was a dark, cynical game. America was funding the very state that protected its enemies. Part 4. The Fall of Kabul. The rise of Haqqani is approximately equal to 400 words. Fast forward to August 2021, the Taliban take Kabul, and the Haqqani Network steps out of the shadows. Sirajuddin Haqqani becomes Minister of Interior, the man responsible for Afghanistan's internal security, police, and prisons. Yes, the same man with a $10 million bounty on his head is now running a sovereign country's security apparatus. Siraj's control is immense. Some analysts say he's even more powerful than the Taliban's supreme leader, Hibatullah Akhundzada. But inside the Taliban, there's a silent war. Two factions exist. The Kandahari faction, more traditional and religious. The Haqqani faction, pragmatic, ambitious, and ISI-backed. These factions compete for power, money, and influence. There have even been reports of armed clashes between them, though denied publicly. Meanwhile, the UN confirms that al-Qaeda still maintains safe havens in Afghanistan under Haqqani protection. The network has also been linked to attacks on minorities, Shiite mosques, and even operations against ISIS-K, their main rival. By late 2025, the Haqqani Network remains one of the most powerful forces in the region, armed, funded, and unchallenged. So what's the Haqqani Network doing today? Sirajuddin Haqqani still holds his ministerial position, controlling internal security. The network dominates Paktia, Paktika, Khost, and parts of Kabul. They've changed their tactics. Instead of open terrorism, they now operate through governance, intelligence, and covert control. They've gone from insurgents to shadow rulers. Their relationship with Pakistan remains strong but tense. Islamabad wants them to suppress the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan (TTP), but Siraj refuses, causing friction. According to a 2025 UN report, al-Qaeda continues to operate under Haqqani protection. The global terror threat is far from over. At the same time, ISIS-K considers Haqqani a traitor, and both sides have fought several deadly battles. The fear is that if the Taliban government collapses, the Haqqani network could revert to full-scale terrorism, this time with more money, more weapons, and deeper global ties. No military power has ever destroyed them. Not the U.S., not NATO, not even Pakistan. The network survives like a mafia, decentralized, loyal, and reborn after every strike. So what's the story of the Haqqani Network? A group born in the 1982, funded by the CIA and ISI, that turned against its creators, waged decades of terror, and finally took control of Afghanistan's government. Why can't anyone destroy them? 4 reasons. ISI's protection. Without Pakistan, the network would crumble. Massive financial power, from drugs, ransoms, and mining. Flexibility. They adapt, sometimes Taliban allies, sometimes al-Qaeda partners, sometimes both. Deep intelligence roots. Their spies infiltrate every level of Afghan society. The big question now is, how long can Sirajuddin Haqqani hold his grip on power? Will internal Taliban divisions lead to collapse? And could the Haqqanis once again export terror beyond Afghanistan's borders? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: as long as Pakistan protects them, the Haqqani network will never die. What do you think the future of the Haqqani Network looks like? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.